I want to know, what has it been like for you when you're being recognized for being quote unquote inspirational and not being the best at what you do, because you are?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously being in a wheelchair is part of my story. Like, I'm not oblivious to that. But I think anyone you talk to who's part of this Paralympic movement and who's an athlete, at the elite level, like, we all feel like we have this obligation, and we're happy to do it, but to educate media and spectators on, we're athletes first and our story just comes with us. But like, we as the athletes see like the 20 plus hours of training that goes into a week of getting to that finish line. And like, that's what we see, like, we missed a world record by 0.2 seconds. And like, those are these athletic accomplishments. And that's why we are the athletes. That's why we chose to be elite athletes and, challenge ourselves and push ourselves. And I think we don't want our athletic accomplishments to be diminished by, she's in a wheelchair or she's an amputee and that's the only reason she's accomplishing it. It's like, no, these are really competitive athletes who happen to be missing a leg or who happen to be visually impaired or who happen to be in a wheelchair. And it's educating them about, what the Paralympics are. I mean, for those of you who might be listening who don't know what the Paralympics are, the Paralympics are the second largest sporting event in the world, right next to the Olympics. They're held at the same venues the Olympics are held at. They're held 2 weeks following the conclusion of the Olympic Games. And, I think as a society and as a world, we're doing better on recognizing what the Paralympics are. And media plays a huge role in that. Following the 2012 Paralympic Games, London did a phenomenal job with giving equal recognition to the Paralympics, from broadcasting rights to how they were advertising athletes. And I think a lot of countries picked up on that and said, we're really behind on this. And the US has done an incredible job trying to catch up. But, there's a lot of progress that needs to be made. But, the lens that I see it from is, if people aren't educated, it all starts with education. Like, if people aren't educated on the Paralympics, aren't educated on Paralympic sports, aren't educated on who these athletes are, they're never going to be able to get the skills to be able to, report on it. So it's like, that's where I feel like our roles as the athletes come in, is like, just continue to educate, whether it's, speaking to schools or speaking to students in journalism classes. It's like, giving our perspective on what it's like being on the athlete side will allow them to do their work even better.